My name's Mark Natoli. I'm here at the Hot Rod and Custom Auto Expo, and I've just got my project here in the background, which is something that I've always wanted to build a car ever since I was a young bloke, and now it's about time to do something for myself. So yeah, this is what I've got. I create body panels for cars, sort of things that are obsolete or things that are unusual, bits and pieces. I do all sorts of things from motorcycles to cars, artwork, different things. And at one point there I decided I wanted to be a bit different, so I branched out and I got a job working in the film industry. And I began on the Matrix movies, building bits and pieces just for a short stint. And that kind of led on to another thing, which I worked there for like 7 months doing the Matrix cars with self-imploding cars. They virtually wanted a sheet metal guy to build some lightweight panels so that at a push of a button, all the lightweight panels fold down, pull up, with all the help of the special effects department and all their knowledge. It's amazing. You push a button and see a car pull down and self-implode and fold up. It was the craziest thing I'd ever seen in my life. But that sort of led one thing into another thing, and then after that sort of started to finish off, I was asked to do a movie in Namibia called Fury Road, and that was like in about 2003. Unfortunately, at the time, I sent all my tools over in a container and was all prepared, had a party and was ready to go. And on the Sunday I had the party, and on the Monday I got a phone call. Unfortunately, it's all fallen over. So that sort of led me to think, okay, what do I do now? So one thing led to another, and another film came along. I thought, okay, so I jumped onto it. Then, a few films later, and I was still enjoying myself. And then Fury Road comes back again, and so I was asked, would you like to come and do it again? So okay, we did. We started off, it was all going to be done in Sydney, or it started off in Sydney in a workshop in Villawood. We and a bunch of really car enthusiasts, clever people from all different departments, about 150 or so people. We all had this big workshop over there building the vehicles and to the design and construction of anything that they wanted. And we built that and took it out to Broken Hill. And as Broken Hill, it started to rain and got a bit too green, so unfortunately it didn't happen out in Broken Hill, and they shelved it again. So it was like a big downer again in the career, but anyway, you sort of move on. We ended up, it came back a year later. I was working on The Great Gatsby at the time, doing cars for Leonardo DiCaprio, making him look cool. So that, for something like that, for a bloke like me that just does a bit of metal work, it's the best job in the world you could ever ask for. One thing led to another. Then Fury Road came back, and they rang me up and they said, Natoli, you bugger, we can't finish all this stuff that you started, so come over here to Africa again. So I hopped on a plane and went over there, and I spent 6 months working over there on the production and finishing bits and pieces that we didn't get finished, like in Sydney. And it was the greatest thing I've ever done, really, as far as that goes. And it was probably 2.5 years nearly of my life spent on just doing that one thing. It was amazing. But I always, since then, I wanted to build a car, and I started building this back then, and it wasn't really what I wanted, so I actually chopped up the body that I had, and I started creating something a bit more 30s style, and then it's up here really. It's only evolving. It is an evolution of how it's going. I'm trying to use what I have in things like the bodywork. I want to emboss flames in the front of it, as I did in the Fury Road car, the Nux car, one of the particular cars. The exhaust pipes have embossed flames in the back. That's kind of a little signature thing of mine that I offered up to the designer, and the director loved it, so they sort of went with it. And so I was pretty pleased to sort of have that. So things like that now are sort of my little signature. Like June Winfield has his fadeaway paint job and all the things that he does. I'm not breaking any records to try and build this car. I call it Syzygy, and Syzygy is like a modern twist on a 30s style of a custom hot rod. And it's one of those sort of things. It's an actual word, and it is the alignment of 3 heavenly bodies, and I'm going to build 3 different body styles into the one car. And so that's sort of what I'm using that word. It's a full tilt front. It has suicide doors on it. The body will be mostly aluminium. Most of the inner cockpit area around the cab is zinc steel, because it takes a while to make it, and I'm just doing it all in the build as I can sort of do it over a couple of years. I didn't want to go rusty. I just thought zinc was easy enough to use, but yeah, the aluminium is what I mainly want to skin the outside with, and I don't know if I'll paint it. It may end up still just being brushed and polished aluminium, I don't know. It's a 48 Jaguar chassis. I put in LS motor with it's a 6 litre Chev motor with a 6-speed automatic in it. The front and rear end are all Jaguar, front suspension. I'd like to airbag it, and it's got Jag rear end with XJS rear end in it. Pretty much say tilt front. Yeah, 4 seats, which is what I wanted to have. I wanted to have something that's a bit of, call it a family car, but yeah, I'm not sure how often I'll get to drive the thing. I don't know. I hope I get to drive it a lot, but until it's finished, I won't know. I've been restoring a lot of cars for a lot of guys for years, and you do so much of that. And realistically, for someone to bring a part to you, you create that part, you give it back to them. It doesn't look any different. But now I'm in a bit more of the custom and the hot rod scene. I'm really enjoying creating something from nothing, and that's where this, to me, is going to get me a bit more out there, I hope. And I'm passionate about what I do, and I love what I do. And for me to get paid to do what I do, this sort of stuff, is a bit of a bonus, I mean, it's not like going to work really, but yeah, it's a heck of a lot of fun,